It is time to get into the marketing processes and systems for your business. Thank you.
You an entrepreneur, I got what you need.
Hey there, my loves. Welcome back to CPTV. I'm CP, and you are in the place for aspiring and growing entrepreneurs who want to turn their passions into businesses and their businesses into freedom. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and subscribe, because every single Tuesday, I am giving you the training on the step-by-step business processes and systems that you can implement immediately in your business and life so you can get to that level of entrepreneurial freedom that you deserve and desire. So go ahead, you heard me, hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you don't miss any of it. And of course, if you like it, then show me. Smash that like button and tell me what you think in the comments below. Okay, so we are still in the process lab, people. And if you are loving it so far, say love it CP in the comments below. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm just saying, okay? It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and link to the playlist right here so that you can go ahead and check out what you have missed so far. Because it is time to get into the marketing processes and systems for your business. Thank you. Yes, y'all. It is time for me to spill the tea on the overall marketing process that I use to grow my businesses into multi-six-figure and seven-figure empires. So let's get to work. First things first, I must define the marketing process that I am teaching you about today, because there are really two different types. Number one is the overall marketing process for your business that grows your audience. And number two is the specific marketing processes that sell your products and services. So today, I am simply going to be focusing on type number one, the overall process, because it applies to any business in any industry, and truly, it must be your foundation. But don't worry, I am going to break it down even further as we progress through the process lab. So, how do you market your business so that you grow your audience and you can convert them into leads? 6 words, my favorite 6 actually. Content marketing as a business process. I started really getting into content marketing around 2017. When an amazing mentor of mine knew that I was looking to make a total change to my marketing strategy. And he gave me the book, Content Inc. It is amazing. I'll link to it in the description below. Anyway, when he gave me this book, it changed my life and my way of thinking about effective marketing strategies. All of a sudden, I fell in love with the concept and design of what content marketing truly is. And that is a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience and ultimately to drive profitable customer actions. Now, think about that. A strategic approach designed to attract a clearly defined audience. And that was music to my ears, because I had spent years knocking on doors and cold calling, throwing out that wide net to see what I could catch, dealing with rejection and selling things to people that wasn't even really what they needed. But this content marketing thing sounded perfect. And that brings me to step number 1 in my marketing process and system. Identify your ICA. In order to do this marketing process, you have to know exactly who your customer is. I mean, granularly, because you will need to ultimately know that in order to move on to step number 2. But first, I need to spend a little bit more time on this particular step. So knowing your ICA, and when I say knowing, I mean really knowing, because if you don't know who your customer is, you won't know what to say to them. You won't be able to identify their pain points. You won't be able to create marketing language or copy. You can't create visuals. You really won't be able to put anything out there that ultimately attracts them. And that's the entire concept of content marketing, to provide valuable resources and training and content. And if you don't know what your ICA truly values, you can't give them anything. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we focus on what we believe people want. We make assumptions. Sometimes we even base what we do on what we want. But the reality is your ideal customer avatar may want and need something totally different. And if you aren't speaking directly to them, you will never attract them. So knowing who your ICA is the beginning so that you can create that content that they need. The content that's going to perk up their ears, make them feel good, and make them see that there is hope out there. And you want to ultimately be that hope. You want to be the one providing them with the products and the services that are going to meet their needs. But if you don't know what their needs are because you don't know them, you don't know where they hang out, you don't know what they need, you don't know how much money they make, you don't know what television shows they watch, or what social media channels they actually tune into, it is going to be impossible for you to put things out that's going to attract them. And if they don't come to you, you're going to be forced to go out looking for them. So that is why step number one is so important when it comes to content marketing. You can't create good content if you don't know who your audience is. So I tell you over and over and over again, and I've actually done an entire video on attracting your ICA. So I'm going to go ahead and link to that more detailed one right here, right now, because you need that information in order to complete step one. But trust me, no matter what marketing you're going to employ, your first step is to know who you're targeting. Now, once you know who your ICA is, let's talk about step number two, and that is create valuable, relevant, and consistent content. Did you hear what I just said? Valuable, relevant, and consistent. Now, I'm going to talk about consistent here shortly, but let me address the valuable and the relevant part. Valuable means that the person who's receiving the information is going to believe that it is going to bring value to their lives and ultimately bring them results. So you want to make sure that the content that you provide is rich enough and intense enough to actually have people get results simply by what you're teaching. Now, I'm not saying give away the farm, because that's always a fine line, and that's always a question that I get. How do I know that I'm giving away too much, that I won't give away more than what people will actually pay me for? But I always say, err on the side of too much. The more you give, the more value your audience is going to receive. And when they see that simply by you giving them free content, that they're going to actually receive results, their mind will be blown when they think about what you could actually provide them with when they're paying. So creating that valuable content is going to be important, and it's got to be good, and it's got to be results oriented. Now, let me address relevant, because relevant is, well, relevant, right? It's relevant to the person, it's relevant to the audience, and everybody's needs are different. That's why we go back to step one, right? In order to create content that is relevant to your audience, you have to know who your audience is. And relevancy means, where are they at? You need to meet them where they are in their journey. Regardless of your product or your service or your messaging or your marketing, whatever you're ultimately putting out there, it has to be relevant. And if you make sure that you are strategic in what you deliver, and that you know who your ICA is, and that you're creating content that's valuable and relevant for them, they will come to you, and you will ultimately be filling your leads category, your leads list, with folks who want what you need and are interested in what you have to offer. Now, step number three, share your content through your primary channel with additional social media support. And I'm going to come back to consistency, right? When I say share your content through your primary channel, that means you need to choose one channel to begin, to be the foundation and the basis of the content that you're creating. For instance, my primary channel, YouTube. It's video production. But other ideas of primary channels could be blogs. You can absolutely be a better writer than you are videographer, and you might want to create written content for people to tap into. You can also choose a podcast, for instance. A lot of people are starting podcasts now. I actually evaluated whether a podcast versus video would be a good fit for me. And I chose video, which I've talked to you guys about before, because that's one of my strengths, right? But I had to choose an ultimate channel. Now, you can also choose a particular social media platform to really plow content through, like IG or Facebook or creating a Facebook group. But ultimately, you have to pick a primary channel. Then, once you have released your content on your primary channel, like YouTube, you want to use the rest of your social media platforms to support distribution of that content. So for instance, we create our YouTube video every single Tuesday. It is my primary content focus. It is what I look for in my ICA's needs, and I deliver content that's valuable and relevant to that ICA through my primary channel. Well, once we release our video, you will also note if you follow me on my other social, and if you don't, make sure you check that out. I'm Cheryl C. Perez on IG, CCP Impact on Facebook, Cheryl C. Perez on LinkedIn, and also Cheryl C. Perez on Clubhouse. So you'll notice if you follow me on those channels, which if you haven't already done so, push pause, go out there and do it. But if you follow me, you'll note that once we release that content on our primary channel, which is YouTube, we will release supporting content like video snippets, video copy, our thumbnails on our other social media platforms. That is so that people who follow us on our other social media platforms are driven back to that primary channel of content. And in that primary channel, I'm able to do a lot of fun stuff to move on with the following steps. And I'm going to get to those in just a second. But you see where I'm going with this, right? You've got to pick a primary content channel to deliver your foundational content from, and then use the remaining social media platforms that you have to promote that particular content. So if you choose a blog, post your blog to your Facebook, post your blog to your IG, talk about your blog in Clubhouse. Whatever it is, pick a primary channel, create that content, deliver it that way, and then ultimately use the rest to support and drive traffic to that primary channel. And that brings me to step number 4, why I want to guide them, right? Step number 4 is give your audience opportunities to opt into your list and not just sit in your social media accounts. Now, speaking of which, did you grab your freebie down below? The ultimate guide to creating business processes with an SOP template? Well, if not, you are going to want to click on that link below. It's in the comments and the description, because it will walk you through exactly how to create processes and SOPs, just like the one I'm teaching you. And you can use it to take notes on this and document these process steps that I'm actually giving you today. You see how I did that?
Brilliant! Brilliant!
Yes. I just gave you a way to grab a free gift, but also join my list. Why? Because I don't want you sitting on those social media channels. I don't own Facebook, although it might be nice to have all that money, you know what I'm saying? I don't own IG because Facebook owns IG. I don't own YouTube. I don't own Clubhouse. I don't own Pinterest. None of us do, right? Unless you out there watching. Zuckerberg, you watching? No. Okay. I didn't think so. But anyway, none of us own those. And so ultimately, in order to say that these customers, these leads, these ideal customers that you've been attracting are going to ultimately be yours, you've got to get them off of things that you don't own and into things that you do. And that is your list. So how do you do that? What is this step number 4 that I'm talking about? Giving people opportunities to opt into your list. Well, I already did it. I offered you a freebie. I offered you a free tool that is tied to this training for you to be able to go ahead and access. And when you click that link, it's going to take you out to a landing page, ask you to give me your name and email information, and then ultimately deliver that free tool to you. Once I've done that, you're in my VIP list. You are a CP insider, and I can continue to nurture our relationship and bring you additional valuable content outside of my social media channels. And that is a major step in this process, right? Number 4, I've got to give you an opportunity to join my list and get off of the rest of my social media channels. And that's a huge piece of driving leads, bringing in ideal customers, and giving yourself an opportunity to nurture them and ultimately to convert them into full-blown paying peeps as a part of your family. And step number 5, nurture your leads until they become customers. Now, I've given you an opportunity to opt in, and you do. You take advantage of my freebie and you become a part of my list. Now, I can't just let you sit there. I can't just stop talking to you. I can't just stop providing you with valuable information and nurturing our relationship, because people buy from those that they know, like, and trust. And it's going to ultimately take some time for me to get to know you, for me to get you to like me, and for you to trust me. And so that is what my nurture is about. So as soon as someone becomes a part of my email list, they immediately go into an email nurture, and it is called the Getting to Know CP Nurture. I've created a series of videos that I allow people to have access to that really explains my story and connects with my audience. And that begins my nurture, right? I get to know folks. I tell them my story. I connect with them on a personal level. I talk to them about my experiences being the same as their experiences as I was going through my entrepreneurial journey. And that nurture begins to create that know, like, and trust, right? And after that, I make sure that I am consistently providing additional content through my weekly emails. And those weekly emails drive them through our primary platform, but the topics kind of stay around the same. I know that I'm giving them content through my newsletters, through additional opt-ins, through special trainings, through special opportunities, because they are a CP insider. And by providing those things, I'm nurturing that relationship. I'm continuing to bring value, and I'm building my credibility with that particular lead. So when I'm finally ready to make some offers, which is moving them into that sales process, which is a later on video, but once I'm ready to make some offers about things that I have to sell, from coaching services, consulting services, or even my online digital products, that person is going to be primed and ready to work with me. And that is the benefit of step number 5. You've got to nurture who you bring in to your list. So you get where I'm going? Number 1, know your ICA. Number 2, create valuable, relevant, and consistent content. Number 3, deliver that content through a primary channel with additional social media platform support. Number 4, give your audience an opportunity to opt into your list and get off of stuff that you don't own. And number 5, nurture that relationship. You get those steps? Overall marketing. Brilliant.
Brilliant! Brilliant!
Okay, another video in our Business Process Lab series. What did you think? Tell me below in the comments, but make sure that while you're down there, you subscribe too, because this is just the beginning. Like I said, in 2021, we're going to be focusing on knocking out your business process and systems documentation and creation. So you've got to get it done this year, and I'm going to help you. And we will be diving into more processes and systems in the coming weeks, because that is what we do around here, okay? So if you are hella pumped about that, smash that like button. If you've got questions about processes, let me know in the comments below and I will answer them. And don't forget to subscribe in that bubble right next to me. Just click on my face so that you can catch us next week and every single week after that. And don't forget to share this video with someone else that you know needs to work on their business processes and systems. And don't forget, make sure you grab that free guide to creating business processes that scale with an SOP template so that you can get started as a CP insider. And until next time, my loves, stay safe. I will see you soon. Mwah! Bye-bye.